You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring you in live. We are at Southern Nazarene University again, todayinfortsmith.com. My name is Clint Davis. Dennis McCaslin is to my left. The Harrah Lady Panthers are coming out first. Number 4, Katie King. Number 5, Erica Ankney. Number 12, Allie Brzezowski. Number 14, Piper King on her way out now. Then number 25, Kiara Lovings. And now we are about to meet our very own Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Coming out first, she's a 6'1" sophomore, number 14, Taylon Collins. And she is wearing the bun again, so I'm hoping this is a better game than last night. Number 15, Cameron Johnson. Number 21, Hannah Boyette. And number 23, Madison Chambers on her way out to the floor. And last but not least, number 33, Chaylin Mays coming out, shaking hands with the referees, fist bumping everybody. And everybody is about to take center court. We're going to have a jump ball. And the game will be underway. We're going to get the who off of the overhead. The referee just came over here to our side and started playing nice with the Harrah fans. That can't be a good sign. Jump ball getting ready to go. The ball is out to half court. Referee tosses it up. Taylon Collins controls over to Cameron Johnson. Hannah Boyette now with the ball, bringing it past half court. Over to the right side. Cameron Johnson with the ball now. Down low to Chaylin Mays, and she's going to power down and put one off the glass. Good for two, and she draws the foul. Chaylin Mays going to the line with a chance for a three-point play to start the game. This is absolute do-or-die time for these Lady Bulldogs. They've got to do better tonight from the free throw line. And the first free throw of the game is no good. 2-0, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the lead over the Harrah Lady Panthers. Ball past half court. Lady Panthers with the ball. Top of the key, going over to the left. Here's a fake and a drive. Shot up is no good. Rebounded by Cameron Johnson. And they're going to call her with a travel. That's going to be a turnover on the Harrah side of the floor. And the inbound pass coming from the Lady Panthers is going to be stolen by Madison Chambers over to Hannah Boyette. She's driving up the left side of the floor down to Taylon Collins. Up off the glass, no good, but Taylon does draw the foul. And she is going to the free throw line. Taylon Collins started last night's game 0 for 5 in a row from the free throw line. We're going to see if bringing the bun back for the night is good luck. Taylon Collins getting set. First shot is up and no good. Two missed free throws already for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Less than a minute of play so far. Second free throw from Taylon Collins is good. And the Lady Bulldogs take a 3-0 lead. And we are going to have a turnover on the inbound pass from Harrah. And that's going to be Muldrow Lady Bulldog basketball. Inbound pass to Taylon Collins. She's going to drive. Pass outside to Cameron Johnson. Cameron coming up to the top of the key. Got to get rid of it. Over to Taylon Collins. She's at the top of the key now. Taylon driving, spin move. Kicked it out to Cameron, down to Chaylin Mays. Back out to Cameron. Skip pass over to Hannah Boyette. And Hannah is going to lose the ball but regain possession and whip around her defender. And she's going to throw the ball away. Harrah with the basketball now. Ball over on the right side. Looking for a drive. And we're going to have a travel. There's another turnover called on Harrah. That's going to be Muldrow Lady Bulldog basketball. Here's the inbound pass. Hannah Boyette trying to get around Ankney. Past half court now, over to Taylor Collins at the high post. And she's going to drive again and kick it out to Cameron Johnson. Shot is good. They're only going to give her 2 on that, but the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 5-0. Harrah is going to call a timeout. We're going to take one with them, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with todayinfortsmith.com. We are at Southern Nazarene University. Cameron Johnson just nailed a 2-point shot from the right corner. 5-0, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead, and they have played 2 minutes now. There's a shot for 3 and no good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette. Up to Madison Chambers. She's going to drive it over to the left side and go up under the basket. And that shot is no good. She did get fouled, but they did not blow the whistle on the foul. Instead, they call it on Muldrow on Taylor Collins. So now we're going to have another inbound pass from Harrah. The Lady Panthers are going to bring the ball back up to their side of the floor. They are on our right for the time being. Spin move and a pass down low is no good. Another turnover for the Harrah Lady Panthers. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the basketball. We've got full court pressure from Harrah. Here comes the inbound pass. Over to Taylor Collins. She's going to drive right, go straight under the basket, pull up for a jump shot. That's good. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up 7-0. 5.5 left in this first quarter. There's a jump shot good by Harrah. 7-2 now. 5-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the right side of the floor. She's going to drive right and go up for a shot, and that's no good. Shaylin Mays is going to get down for the ball, and that's going to be a jump ball, and it will be Harrah ball. So the Lady Panthers out of bounds. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, light pressure in the backcourt. Harrah past half court now. It's me number 4, Katie King with the ball. Back to King over on the right side for a 3-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Shaylin Mays. And Shaylin throws it away. That's another turnover. And here's a drive by Harrah. They're going to call a foul on Shaylin Mays. And Harrah will be going to the line for 2 shots. This is number 12, Allie Brzezowski, shooting free throws. First shot is up, and it's good. Second free throw coming. And that's good as well. 7-4, Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the lead. 4:45 left in this first quarter. Hannah Boyette past half court now. Over to Cameron Johnson. Down to Shaylin Mays at the high post. Hannah Boyette on the right side. Now Cameron Johnson, top of the key. Over to Maddie Chambers. Back to Cameron. Over to Hannah Boyette. Shot for 3. No good. Rebounded by Cameron. Shot up is blocked. And Harrah comes down with it. They're moving back to their side of the floor. Here's a drive. And a pass batted out of bounds by Madison Chambers. And here's the inbound pass now. Lady Panthers driving to the basket. Shot up is good. And it is a 1-point ball game, 7-6. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a 1-point lead. They've got to do something with the ball and extend the lead. Hannah Boyette top of the key down to Taylor Collins, down to Shaylin Mays. And they're going to call a foul on number 4, Katie King. And the Lady Bulldogs will have the ball out of bounds. Inbound pass, Shaylin Mays down low, and she shoots, and that's no good. Lady Panthers with the basketball coming down the floor. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Taylor Collins. Lady Bulldogs moving down the floor. Pass down low, Shaylin Mays up off the glass. Good for 2. 9-6 now. The Lady Bulldogs are on top. 3:32 left in the first quarter of this state semifinal game. Winner moves on to the championship tomorrow at the Big House. Loser goes home for the season. Here is Katie King moving the ball around. Pass over to the left to Ankney. She drives, and she's going to get fouled on the floor. That's going to be another foul on Shaylin Mays. And Passage is going to come into the game. Chelsea Passage in now. Shaylin Mays going to the bench. Harrah with the ball out of bounds. Here comes the inbound pass. Nobody to throw it to. There it is in the corner. Ankney moving the ball around, back up to the top of the key. Pick set. Nowhere to go. Ball back over to the left side. Here's a drive and a kick back out to the three-point line, and another drive with a shot up, and that's no good. Rebounded by Cameron Johnson. Chelsea Passage with the basketball now. Over to the left. Hannah Boyette for three. No good. Way off the mark. Harrah with the rebound. Lady Panthers bringing the ball up the floor. And they're going to throw the ball out of bounds. That's another Harrah turnover. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the basketball. Chelsea Passage with the inbound pass from Madison Chambers. Chelsea's up past half court now. She's going to go down to Hannah Boyette and over to Cameron Johnson. That shot's way off the mark. The Lady Bulldogs are not on from three tonight. Here's a drive. Shot for three. No good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. There's a jump ball under the basket. And the Lady Bulldogs come down with it. Here's the inbound pass. Chelsea Passage bringing it up past half court now. Over to the right side. Cameron Johnson back to Passage. Over to Maddie Chambers. Down low to Taylon Collins. Out to Passage. Shot for three. No good. Rebounded by Harrah. The Lady Panthers moving down the floor. The Lady Bulldogs are not boxing out underneath the basket. Here's a shot for three by Harrah. No good. Rebound Chelsea Passage. Lady Bulldogs bringing the ball back down to their side of the floor. 1 minute, 45 seconds left in this first quarter. Lady Bulldogs up by three, 9-6. Pass over to Cameron Johnson. Skip pass. Over to Maddie Chambers is batted away, but Chelsea Passage comes down with it. Hannah Boyette with a drive. And they're going to call her with a travel. There's another turnover by the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And the Harrah Lady Panthers will have the ball back. They are down by three. 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Katie King moving the ball up the floor for Harrah. There's a pick set. She gets around Passage, kicks it out to the right. A drive around, pass out to the three-point line. Harrah trying to do something with this basketball. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Here comes a pick and a drive. The shot's no good. They're going to call Harrah with another travel. That's another turnover for the Lady Panthers. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have the ball back with 1 minute, 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Top of the key over to the right. Cameron Johnson back to Chelsea Passage. Down to Hannah Boyette. Cameron Johnson's going to drive and put up a jump shot. That's good. 2 more points in for the Lady Bulldogs. They're up 11-6. 48 seconds left in this first quarter. Ankney with the ball over to the right side. Down low, gets batted away. They're going to call that off of Taylon Collins, and the Lady Panthers will retain possession. Inbound pass to Katie King. Passage with heavy defense. Pick set, and Passage goes right around it. Ankney with a drive and a shot up. That's no good. They're going to call a charge on Ankney. That's an offensive foul. She's one of their best players on the court, but, man, she's not on tonight. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the ball back. 5-point lead, 11-6, 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Chelsea Passage going to reach down and scratch her ankle while she dribbles. She has many talents. She's going to hang on to the ball for as long as she can, and then she's going to toss it left to Madison Chambers. Passage with the ball again, down to Hannah Boyette. Taylon Collins up off the glass. No good, but Taylon does draw the foul with 2.6 seconds left. Taylon Collins going to the line for 2 shots. Here's another shot up from the free throw line. Taylon Collins, no good. Struggling, 1 for 3 so far in this game. She went 0 for 5 in a row last night. Tonight she's 1 for 3 from the free throw line. She's got to put these points on the board. Second free throw is up, and that's good. Taylon Collins shooting 50% from the line. Paige Hughes coming in. Taylon Collins going to have a breather for a couple of seconds. And here comes the inbound pass. Heavy pressure from the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. There's the inbound pass. 1 second left. They're not even going to do anything with it. That's the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a 60-second break. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are doubled up on the Harrah Lady Panthers 12-6, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. We do want to mention two more sponsors. Number one being Mazzio's in Roland for dipping chicken, dipping fries, toasted sandwiches, or that original Mazzio's pizza flavor. Call 427-9999 and get in the game with Mazzio's today. Also, we want to give a big thank you to Brian and Jamie Patterson. They are a proud sponsor of all Muldrow Bulldog athletics and the Muldrow community. Patterson Automotive Wholesale is their business, and we appreciate everything they do for Muldrow and today in Fort Smith. Here's the inbound pass by Harrah. Second quarter action underway. Katie King with the ball with a pass over to the left side. Looking for a drive, trying to get around Paige Hughes. Ankney with the ball. Here's a drive left. Shot for three. No good. Rebounded by Maddie Chambers. And the Harrah Lady Panthers aren't boxing out on offense either. Here's a pass over to Passage. Over to Paige Hughes. Down to Maddie Chambers. Down to Chaylin Mays. Shot up off the glass. No good. Chaylin gets the rebound, passes it over to Passage. Maddie Chambers going to drive and give it to Chaylin Mays again. And they're going to call a jump ball. That's going to be Muldrow basketball. Beautiful. Let's have the out of bounds, the inbound pass here. Chelsea Passage is out of bounds. Alicia McClory has snuck into the game. Hannah Boyette on the bench right now. Here's Maddie Chambers with a spin move. Down to Chaylin Mays, and she's going up for a shot. That's good! Chaylin Mays with the power moves. Now she hit L1 or R1 on that one and went up over everybody. 2 points in. She's got a chance for a three-point play. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up 14-6. Here is Chaylin Mays. Shot from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by the Harrah Lady Panthers. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are not shooting well from the free throw line, and that's not good in a state semifinal game. Pass over to the right side. Ankney with the ball now. Maddie Chambers is on her. Here's a shot for three by the big girl. That's way off the mark. And a shot up for two is good, and they're going to call the foul on the Lady Bulldogs. Referee said count the basket. The foul is on Paige Hughes. Oh, boy. Here come the big guns. We've got Taylon Collins coming in. We've got Hannah Boyette and Cameron Johnson. But we're going to have another timeout. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. The free throw from the Harrah Lady Panthers was good. 14-9 is the score now. Lady Bulldogs with the ball. Cameron Johnson over to Taylon Collins, over to Hannah Boyette. Skip pass all the way over to Paige Hughes. Over to Cameron Johnson now. Taylon Collins with the ball back. Over to Paige Hughes. Back to Cameron Johnson, and that ball's going to get stolen away. And Harrah with a shot up gets blocked. Taylon Collins comes down with it, gets knocked to the floor, and they go ahead and call her for a walk instead of a foul on Harrah. Inbound pass now out to the top of the key. Here's a drive. Taylon Collins rebounds off a no good shot. She's going to drive it all the way down, puts up a shot. No good, gets her own rebound, goes back up off the glass. Good for two. 16-9, Lady Bulldogs up. 5:58 left in this second quarter. Shot for three, way off the mark. Rebounded by Harrah. They're going to kick it out to the right side and send it off down low. They're going to whistle Chaylin Mays with a foul. That's going to be on the floor. Maddie Chambers coming back into the ball game momentarily. And we're going to have the ball out of bounds here. Maddie coming in for Chaylin Mays. Chaylin going back to the bench. Everybody trying to figure out what to do here. Ball's going to be out of bounds. We got to get somebody from Harrah to go out of bounds so they can pass it in. I don't think they act like they don't know what they're doing. We've got number 10, Cambry Ingraham, coming into the game. Number 25, Kiara Lovings, going to the bench for the Lady Panthers. Inbound pass from Harrah. Way out top. Whoa. Here's a drive, and a shot up under the basket is good. 16-11, the Lady Panthers with a steal. There's a shot up, no good. They're going to whistle Taylon Collins for a foul here. These Lady Bulldogs have got to make smarter passes. Then we're going to have number 5, Erica Ankney. She's going to be at the free throw line. Her first shot up is no good. Second shot up. That is good. 16-12, Lady Bulldogs, 4-point lead. Chelsea Passage bringing the ball up the floor now. Chelsea's at the point. Pass it down to Hannah Boyette. Now to Cameron Johnson, who stops, gives it to Taylon Collins. Off to Maddie Chambers with a shot up. That's no good, but she does draw the foul. Madison Chambers going to the free throw line for 2 shots. Madison Chambers getting ready. First shot up. No good. Lady Bulldogs struggling from the free throw line. You cannot come into a state tournament and miss as many free throws as we've seen missed in these 2 games. There's the second shot up, is good. Lady Panthers with the ball, full court pressure from the Lady Bulldogs. Harrah with a drive, down on the inside, shot up, no good. Rebounded by Harrah. And they're going to get her, they're going to call a foul on the Lady Bulldogs on Chelsea Passage. Katie King for Harrah took about 3 steps while she held the ball. And we are in a bonus now, shooting a 1-and-1. And we've still got 4:57 left in this second quarter. Shot up from King is no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. And she's going to make it around everybody. And she's going to get fouled by Ankney. And Taylon Collins going to the line for a 1-and-1 shot. Taylon has got to sink the first one if she wants a chance at another point. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up by 5, 17-12. They have got to extend the lead. Shot up by Collins. Good. 18-12 now. Second shot on the way from Collins. Also good. Taylon Collins shaking off the semifinal jitters. 4:45 left in this second quarter. Harrah with the basketball. Pass down low, gets batted down. Harrah remains in possession, puts a shot up under the basket. Good. 19-14, Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the lead and the basketball. Chelsea Passage past half court, bringing the ball up top of the key over to Madison Chambers. She fakes the 3 and moves out. Gives it back to Passage. And that pass is going to be batted down, and Chelsea Passage comes down with it. Hannah Boyette with the basketball now. Shoots for 3. No good. Rebounded by Harrah. And the Lady Panthers coming back down the floor looking for points. Here's a drive to the basket, and a shot up is no good. And they're going to call that out of bounds on Hannah Boyette. She had a big one over her back, but they didn't bother calling an over-the-back foul. They just called it out of bounds on Hannah Boyette. Same referee who was hamming it up with the Harrah fans over here before the game. Harrah with a shot up and good. Now it's a 3-point ball game. 19-16, 3:52 left in the first half. Lady Bulldogs with the lead. Down to Hannah Boyette. Down to Taylon Collins, and she's going to go up off the glass. And they're going to call Taylon with a charge. And we're going to get a timeout. Harrah's going to have the basketball when we come back. We're going to take a break.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with you. We want to say another big thank you to Mazzio's Pizza in Roland. They came through big for us and wanted to sponsor the Roland Rangers and the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs in the state tournament. So if you want to get some pizza, call 427-9999 and get in the game with Mazzio's in Roland. Lady Panthers going to have the basketball, only down by 3. And they're moving down the floor now. Drive over to the right side, back over to the left, and a shot for 3 is no good. It is good. It bounces out and falls. And desperation mode has proven to be successful for the Harrah Lady Panthers. Chelsea Possige with the basketball now. Coach Armour on her feet. Lady Bulldogs need points. Harrah with all the momentum. Their fans are on their feet. That ball's going to be swatted out of bounds by Harrah. That's going to be Muldrow Lady Bulldog basketball. Maddie Chambers drives it all the way to the hoop. That's up and in. Good. And she draws the foul. She will have a chance for a three-point play. Madison Chambers going to the free throw line. Maddie Chambers with a shot up. That's good. Lady Bulldogs retake that three-point lead. And the Harrah Lady Panthers with the basketball coming back down the floor now. And they are past half court. Drive over to the right side. Pass down low is no good, but it's off Cameron Johnson. So that will be Harrah Lady Panther basketball underneath their own goal. Here comes the inbound pass from Harrah. Pass way out. Three-point line, almost a drive. Pass over to the top of the key. Shot for 3. No good. Rebounded by Harrah. And a shot back up is no good. Rebounded by Harrah again. And the shot up is good. It's a one-point ball game, 22-21. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have got to box out underneath the basket. If they box out, they have a better chance of somebody going over their back and drawing a foul. Pass over to the left, Cameron Johnson. Over to the right, Maddie Chambers. Back to Cameron. Hannah Boyette not moving around. Everybody's trying to get open. Down to Chaylin Mays. And she's going to drive to the basket and put up a shot, no good. She gets her own rebound, puts up another shot, no good. Harrah with the rebound now and a chance to take the lead from the Lady Bulldogs. And there's a shot up, and it's good. And that's going to be the first lead of the ball game for the Harrah Lady Panthers. And if the Lady Bulldogs don't get in gear, they're going to be in trouble. Chelsea Possige with the ball past half court now. Here's a drive down to Chaylin Mays with a jump shot. Good. And the Lady Bulldogs retake a one-point lead, 24-23. Less than a minute and a half left in the second quarter. Ankney trying to get a pick set so she can shoot another 3. There's a drive right, a pass down low, and a shot up, no good. Rebounded by Harrah, and a shot up is good. Harrah retakes a one-point lead, 25-24. 1 minute, 5 seconds left in the first half. Possige with the ball past half court. Possige with a drive now, right down the middle to the hoop. And the shot's no good. It was too far underneath the basket. Harrah Lady Panthers with the rebound and the basketball with a one-point lead. And now here's another drive down the middle with a shot up, no good. And the Harrah Lady Panthers are going to last touch the basketball out of bounds. You can hear their fans behind us. I love it. Hey, boo that one all the way to the locker room. Chelsea Possige with the basketball now. 35 seconds left in this first half. Lady Bulldogs trying to retake the lead before halftime. Pick set by Hannah Boyette. Possige gets the ball knocked away, and the Lady Panthers try to steal it, but they lose 2 people in the backcourt. Possige goes down and shoots, no good. And Harrah trying to put a shot up, and that is good. Here comes the inbound pass. Harrah Lady Panthers with a 3-point lead. Hannah Boyette with a shot. Way off the mark. That's no good. We're going to go to halftime. 27-24. The Harrah Lady Panthers took the first lead of the ball game right before the end of the half, and they're up by 3. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with halftime stats.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with you with todayinfortsmith.com. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are down 27-24. The Harrah Lady Panthers were behind for the entire first half, except for about the last minute and a half. They finally took their first lead of the ball game. Now they're up by 3. We've got about 5.5 minutes left in halftime, and now we're going to have our halftime stats brought to you by Boyette Farms in Muldrow. Dennis, what do you got?
Well, as you referred to, Clint, the Lady Bulldogs led the entire contest until 1:47 left to go in that second quarter, and then they were able to come back and take a 3-point lead. Part of the problem for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs is they are 0 for 6 from 3-point. They haven't hit a three-pointer yet. And also the 6 turnovers that they had were keys. And also they're 4 for 11 from the free throw line. So that's 7
terrible
points that were just left hanging. But anyway, in the first half, Anke and Brozowski finished with 8 points each for Harrah, 6 points for Katie King. And then Kiara Lovings finished with 5. For the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, Taylon Collins and Shaylin Mays both finished with 8 points and 4 points each from Cameron Johnson, and also Madison Chambers. That's all the scoring in this contest, 27-24. The Lady Bulldogs proved to me in the first half, especially until the last minute and 47 seconds, they can play with this team.
Yeah, they can. It's just going to be a matter of tightening up and getting rid of the simple mistakes. The bad passes going out of bounds, the free throws, the bad free throws. I don't know how they can fix that problem right now. It all goes back to practice. It all goes back to who puts in the most effort. So hopefully they can shake that off. They can shake off the bad free throws. They can shake off some turnovers, and they can get back in gear. And hopefully they can jump back out on top like we saw them do at the beginning of the game. I know it's going to be tough for them. Harrah's the number 2 team in the state. Muldrow's the number 3 team in the state. So, it's going to be a heavily contested matchup from here on. We've got about 3.5 minutes left. We're going to finish playing some of our commercial spots. We do want to say thank you again to Boyette Farms in Muldrow for our halftime stats, as well as Patterson Automotive Wholesale, Brian and Jamie Patterson. We want to say thank you to them for all they do for Muldrow and for todayinfortsmith.com. Also, Mazzio's Pizza in Roland for dipping chicken, dipping fries, toasted sandwiches, or that original Mazzio's pizza flavor. Call 427-9999 and get in the game with Mazzio's today. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Now we're going to go ahead and bring you back in live. We've got less than a minute left. Dennis is having troubles over here. Got to get his earbuds back in. Headset back on. He's going to set that down for a little while. That's okay. Just going to be me with you here for a little bit. We'll do this together. How about that? Lady Bulldogs retaking the floor. They will be shooting on the right side of the floor now. That is our side. And Harrah will have the ball to start the second half. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have got to play defense. They've got to take the ball back every chance they can get. They have to get points up on the board. Here's the ball out of bounds, thrown inbound to Katie King. She's back in the ball game. Driving around, trying to get a pick set. Pass over the three-point line. Hannah Boyette with a block and a steal. Taylon Collins comes up with it, goes up underneath the basket, good for 2. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs close the gap. It's a 1-point ball game. Harrah on top. Pass over to the left. Ankney with the ball now. Shot for 3. That's good. And the Lady Panthers are up by 4, 30-26. Taylon Collins up off the glass again. And it's a 2-point ball game, 30-28. If the Lady Bulldogs can keep the Lady Panthers off the 3-point line, they'll be in good shape. King bringing the ball up the floor, pass over to the left. Ankney with the basketball now. Always looking for a pick and a 3-pointer. That's her go-to every time she wants points. Ball over to the right side. Pass back over to the left. Ankney with the ball again. Back over to the left side. Shot for three. That's no good. With her own rebound, there's another shot up, no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. And a pass over to Hannah Boyette. Lady Bulldogs with a chance to tie the ball game. Hannah's going to drive, and a shot up is no good, but we do have a foul on the floor. The foul is on the shot, so Hannah Boyette going to the free throw line. Here's a shot up. That's good. And the one thing you can always count on from Hannah is that she's going to come through at the free throw line. Here comes her second shot. And that's good as well. Tie ball game, 30-30, 6:33 left in the third quarter. Harrah Lady Panthers with the basketball. Katie King has the rock now, moving past half court over to the right side. Back to Katie King. They're going to try to get Ankney open somewhere. Back to Ankney on the right side. She's going to look the drive. She's going to kick it back out to Katie King. Back out on the right wing. Back to King. Top of the key, almost to half court. Here comes a drive left, and Ankney drives down, and they're going to get a foul on Taylon Collins. Chelsea Possit's coming back into the ball game. Taylon coming out. Taylon Collins has 4 fouls. That is not good for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Taylon will probably sit for the remainder of the third quarter. Inbound pass batted away by Maddie Chambers. And the Lady Bulldogs on the floor right now have got to step it up with Taylon Collins out of the game. Pass inbound. Ankney with the ball. Pass back over to the right side, back over into the right corner. Top of the key, Ankney with the basketball, over to Katie King. King is going to drive and kick it back out to the three-point line, and that three-point shot is good. Harrah takes another three-point lead, 33-30. Inbound pass to Passage. Chelsea driving right, moving down the floor. Looking for somebody to get open. Passage goes left. We're going to have a timeout, Coach Armour, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Now we're going to bring it back in live. We just saw a post on Facebook that said that the live stream from Cooks and Hills is lagging so bad, and people need to turn it over to us. We don't have video. It's true, we don't. But who needs video when you can have the game described to you on todayinfortsmith.com? Besides, you don't want to catch everything late. I think they're several seconds behind us. Well, that's okay. If something good happens, you'll hear it here first. Chelsea Passage with the ball now. Past half court. Over to the left to Hannah Boyette. Coach Armour calling for somebody to cut. Here comes Madison Chambers. Back to Passage. Pick set. Jalen Mays is a brick wall you don't want to run into. And Katie King found that out the hard way. Here's a pass to Cameron Johnson. She's going to drive. Shot up is good. 1-point ball game, 33-32. And the Lady Panthers are still in the lead. 4.5 left in the third quarter. Ball back over to Katie King. Back over to Ankney now. Pass down low. Shot up is good. And the Lady Panthers with a 3-point lead. 35-32. Maddie Chambers with the ball now. She's going to drive and give it off to Harrah. She turns the ball over. Lady Panthers moving down the floor. Katie King with a shot up under the basket, and that's good. And the Harrah Lady Panthers are up by 5, 37-32. Maddie Chambers with the basketball now, bringing it down the floor. Cameron Johnson thought about driving the baseline. Pass over to Jalen Mays. Ball back to Passage now. Skip pass over to Hannah Boyette. She's going to drive and give it to Jalen Mays. Jalen can't hang on to it. And Hannah Boyette and Ankney go down to the floor for a jump ball, and that's going to belong to Muldrow. Inbound pass. Madison Chambers with the basketball now. Driving around. Off to Chalon Mays. Back to Chambers. Posage with the ball. Got to get rid of it. Over to Cameron Johnson. Cameron driving around right. Cameron gets the ball turned over. The Lady Panthers are driving. Up off the glass. Good for two. And the Harrah Lady Panthers have a 7-point lead, 39-32. Lady Bulldogs with the basketball now, back on their side of the floor. Hannah Boyette with the ball over to Chalon Mays. Chalon down to Hannah Boyette. Shot up off the glass, no good. Hannah got her own rebound, but lost it to Katie King, and the Lady Panthers have the ball back. Over to the left side, shot for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Maddie Chambers. The Lady Bulldogs have some serious ground to make up here. Maddie driving right. Up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Harrah. Ball coming back up the right side of the floor. Katie King driving, shot up, no good. And they're going to call a foul on the Lady Bulldogs. No telling who that's on yet. Hannah Boyette whistled for the foul. And they're going to call that the first one of the ball game for Hannah. Here comes the first free throw. That's good. Paige Hughes coming back into the ball game for Cameron Johnson. After that last turnover, Cameron going to the bench. Second free throw is good. And the Harrah Lady Panthers have a 9-point lead, 41-32 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Chelsea Posage dribbling back up to the top of the key, driving right. She popped back out to reset things. Pass over to Chalon Mays. Chalon with a drive. Out to Maddie Chambers. Down to Chalon Mays again. Power move. Shot is no good. Rebound by Harrah. Lady Panthers moving the ball back to their side of the floor. Shot up for three. That's good. Inbound pass to Maddie Chambers. The Lady Bulldogs are down 44-32. Pass over to Paige Hughes. Down to Chalon Mays. And we're going to have a foul on the floor. That's going to be whistled on number 12, Allie Brzezowski. And we're going to get set for an inbound pass. Posage into Paige Hughes in the corner. Paige going to drive around to the right, back down to Posage. Pass down to Chalon Mays. And they're going to call a foul. That's going to be on number 14, Piper King. That's her fourth foul of the ball game. One more and she's done. Inbound pass to Maddie Chambers. She's going to drive to the basket. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Harrah. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Lady Bulldogs down by 12 in this state semifinal game. Katie King drives to the basket. Shot up, good for Harrah. Chelsea Posage bringing the ball back down the floor. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Madison Chambers kicks it out to Paige Hughes. Paige is going to drive. And a shot up off the glass is no good. Harrah bringing the ball back down the floor, driving all the way to the basket. Shot's good. We've got an injury on the court. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
We're going to bring you back in live. We have an injury. Ankney has injured her ankle. She's going to need help off the court. And the referees are calling everybody back out to the floor. Lady Bulldogs need some serious help. They're down 48-32. 8.6 left in the third quarter. Still a lot of basketball left to play, but the Lady Bulldogs are in a big hole. Comes the inbound pass. Passage. 6 seconds left. She's going to have to charge up the floor. 2 seconds left now. And Passage is going to put up a shot, no good. That's going to do it for the third quarter. The Lady Bulldogs are down 48-32. We're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to go ahead and bring you back in live. Fourth quarter action about to start. And I think these Lady Bulldogs understand how serious of a situation this is. Harrah going to have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Inbound pass now. Pass over to the left and a drive down low. And Hannah Boyette going to come up with the basketball. And she's going to get fouled. So Hannah Boyette going to be out of bounds. Inbound pass coming. More full court pressure from the Lady Panthers. Inbound pass to Chelsea Passage. Chelsea moving the ball up the floor. Right side now. Pass over to the left, Cameron Johnson. Back over to Paige Hughes on the right side. Back to Hannah Boyette. Hannah's going to drive in and put up a shot. No good. But Hannah is going to get fouled, and she's going to go to the line. Hannah standing at the free throw line. She's got to put some shots in. First shot is good. 15-point hole now. The Lady Bulldogs down 48-33. Second shot by Hannah is good. 48-34. 7.5 left in the ball game. Harrah Lady Panthers with the basketball. Full court pressure from the Lady Bulldogs. Ball past half court now over to the left side on the three-point line and a drive to the inside. That's going to get batted down. Last touched by the Lady Bulldogs. That's going to be Harrah basketball. Here comes the inbound pass out to the top of the key. That's going to be thrown. Chelsea Passage is going to try to run it down. That's going to be last touched by Harrah out of bounds. Muldrow Lady Bulldog basketball. 7:16 left in the ball game. Lady Bulldogs down by 14 points. They haven't trailed like this since we had the Owasso game at the Tournament of Champions. Paige Hughes with the basketball, top of the key. Got to get rid of it, needs help. There's Hannah Boyette. She's got the ball at the top of the key now. Pass over to the left side, back over to Hannah Boyette. She's going to shoot for two, and that's good. 12-point lead for the Lady Panthers now, 6:44 left in the ball game. Taylon Collins is at the clock desk, getting ready to check back in. Pass stolen by Alicia McCloria. Out to Chelsea Passage, and she's going to throw it out of bounds. And that's going to be Harrah Lady Panthers basketball. Pass inbound. Almost stolen away by McCloria again. And they're going to give that ball to the Lady Bulldogs. It was knocked out of bounds by Harrah. So the Lady Bulldogs with the basketball. 6:28 left in the ball game. 48-36. 12-point lead for the Harrah Lady Panthers. We're going to have a substitution. Brzezowski coming back. That's not Brzezowski. That's number 12. That is Brzezowski. Pass over to the left. Hannah Boyette back over to Chelsea Passage, and the Lady Bulldogs don't have much time. Hannah Boyette for three. No good. Rebounded by Passage. Down to Taylon Collins. Shot up no good. Collins with a rebound and a shot up and in. 10-point lead for Harrah now. Lady Bulldogs putting on some pressure. Katie King with the basketball on the right side. Lady Panthers not doing much. They're going to whistle Hannah Boyette with the foul. That's only the third foul of the half for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. So we will have the out of bounds. Here's the pass inbound. Knocked away by Taylon Collins. The Panthers regain possession. Chelsea Passage with a steal. And the Lady Bulldogs have the ball back. Down by 10. 5.5 left in this ball game. They're going to have to put points on the board. Hannah Boyette with a basketball. Over to McCloria in the corner. Back over to Hannah. Back over to Passage. Down to Taylon Collins. She's going to drive and give it off to Hannah Boyette for three. No good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Lady Bulldogs still alive. Hannah Boyette with a shot under the basket, and she gets fouled. The shot was no good, but Hannah's going to the line for 2 free throws. Lady Bulldogs down by 10 points, 48-38. 5:06 left in the ball game. Hannah Boyette with a chance to cut the lead to 8. 2 shots coming. Here comes the shot. First one is good. The Lady Panther lead is cut to 9. Hannah Boyette getting ready for her second shot. That shot is also good. We're going to have a timeout called by Harrah. Lady Bulldogs down 48-40. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Now we're going to bring you back in live. We also want to say a big thank you to Patterson Automotive Wholesale. Big thanks to Brian and Jamie Patterson. They do a lot for the community, for Muldrow, and for the school. We want to say thank you to them and for everything they do for us at Today in Fort Smith. I had a conversation with Brian earlier at the big house right before the Rolling game started. And those are some very, very good people. So we want to say a big thank you to the Patterson family. Bulldog fans going crazy in the bleachers. The Lady Panthers will have the basketball out of bounds. They are up by 8 points. 5:06 left in this ball game. Here's some heavy pressure by the Lady Bulldogs. And a shot up under the basket is good. Lady Panthers back up by 10, 50-40. 4:52 left in the game. Hannah Boyette with the ball on the right side. Down to Taylon Collins. Up off the glass, no good. But they're going to whistle Brzezowski with another foul. Taylon Collins going back to the free throw line. Going to have 2 shots coming. Coach Armour has called everybody else over to the side so she can talk. Taylon getting set. First shot up. Good. 9-point lead for the Harrah Lady Panthers. 4:47 left in this ball game. Second free throw coming. Taylon Collins steps up to the line. She's going to get set. Shot up. Also good. 8-point lead. There's a steal by Hannah Boyette. But they're going to call a foul on her. And they're going to give the ball back to the Harrah Lady Panthers. I don't know what happened. No, they're going to say she stepped on the line. She was out of bounds. Lady Panthers with the basketball up by 8 points. Lady Bulldogs with heavy pressure. 4.5 left in this ball game. Katie King drives and puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Maddie Chambers. Lady Bulldogs with the basketball, moving back down to the right side of the floor. Pass over to the left to Passage, over to the right to Hannah Boyette. Down low to Taylon Collins, up off the glass, no good. Rebound by Harrah. Lady Panthers moving back up to their side of the floor. Shot for 3, no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Up the floor, Hannah Boyette on a fast break. Up off the glass, good for 2. Lady Bulldogs only down by 6. Less than 4 minutes left to go in this ball game. Lady Panthers bringing the ball down the floor. She is on nobody. There's a shot up and good. 2 more points for the Lady Panthers. Back to an 8-point lead, 52-44 for Harrah. Here's Hannah Boyette with the ball around the back. And they're going to whistle a foul. These Harrah fans, good Lord. It's like they don't know what a foul is. That's going to be Ankney with another foul. That's her third of the ball game. Hannah Boyette going to the line for a 1-and-1 situation. Yeah, she fell over her own feet as she was tripped by two players from Harrah. Good thinking, lady behind me. Her prize for the day is going to be a drive home in the dark. Here's a shot up. Hannah Boyette, no good. Rebounded by Harrah. Lady Panthers bringing the ball up the left side of the floor, back over to the middle and over to the right side. Ankney with the basketball. 3.5 left in the ball game. Ankney drives left. And a drive under the basket. They're going to whistle a foul on Cameron Johnson. The Lady Panthers are going to have the ball out of bounds. We're going to have a timeout by the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by TodayInFortSmith.com.
And we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with TodayInFortSmith.com. 52-44 is the score. The Harrah Lady Panthers are on top of the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And who is this? Dennis, who's the leopard lady over on the Harrah side? What is that all about? This lady's decked out in leopard clothing from head to toe. I thought it was a giant animal, but I guess not. Pass over to the left side, back to the top of the key. Back over to the top of the key now, back over to the left side. Might have to call PETA. Here's a pass back over to the right side. Ankney with the basketball. Over into the corner with a shot up, and that's no good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette. That's going to be another 1-and-1 situation. Hannah Boyette going back to the line. 2:45 left in the ball game. Hannah with a chance to cut the Harrah lead to 6 points. And before we get off of here tonight, I want to tell every single one of you listening live, I want to tell you thank you. I've got a lot of names in front of me. I would try to run through them all, but I can't. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of names over here. I can't do it. Hannah Boyette, first shot up is good. But if you're listening live, you know exactly who you are. So I am personally telling you thank you.
And we also realized you had some options tonight. You could have watched or listened someplace else.
Yeah, most definitely. Hannah Boyette's second shot up is good. 6-point lead for the Harrah Lady Panthers, and the drunk lady behind me is on her last leg. Here's the pass inbound. Harrah trying to bring the ball up the floor and stay out of trouble. They throw the ball away, but they regain possession. Bringing it up the floor now. Pass under the basket. Shot up is good. Every time the Lady Bulldogs gain some ground, they lose more. Here's Maddie Chambers with the ball. She's going to drive. Shot up. Good. We're going to have another timeout. We're going to take a 30-second one, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by TodayInFortSmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. We did find out in the chat room that Victoria Harden is listening live from Mounds, Oklahoma, so we do want to say thank you. Harrah is going to get tripped up, and that's going to be a walk. And we've got fans from Harrah almost on the floor, screaming and crying, beating up the bleachers. Inbound pass, Taylor Collins to Chelsea Passage. Over to Hannah Boyette with only a 6-point lead with 2 minutes left in this ball game. Passage going to pass it over to Cameron Johnson. Hannah Boyette for three. No good. Rebounded by Harrah. And the Lady Panthers bringing the ball back up to their side of the floor. They're going to call a foul on Chelsea Passage. I hate to see belligerent fans make it so far in the tournament. Those are the ones who deserve to go home. Here's the inbound pass from Harrah. They're moving the ball back up to the left side of the floor. We got 1 minute, 42 seconds left in this ball game. Pass over to the left side, and they're going to call a foul on Cameron Johnson. These fans, good night. Here comes the inbound pass from Harrah. Timeout, Harrah. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Hey, we're back with you. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin, todayinfortsmith.com. Leopard Lady for Harrah still up on the bench. That's like a big leopard daishiki or something. I don't know what she's wearing. That thing is huge.
Maybe she didn't get the memo that they're panthers and not leopards.
Yeah, what are we going to have to change their name to the Harrah Leopards? That'll be great. Here's the inbound pass from the Leopards. I mean the Panthers. That's going to go all the way to the backcourt. Taylor Collins is going to try to steal it, but she knocks it out of bounds. With a minute and 32 seconds left, Harrah will have possession. The Lady Leopards. And the drunks behind me are getting a little bit more out of hand as each second ticks down. Harrah with the basketball, moving it up to their side of the floor. And a drive to the basket with a shot up, no good. And that's going to get knocked out of bounds. That's going to be Muldrow basketball. Still only down by 6 are the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, and 2 3-point shots could put this back into ball game mode. Here's the inbound pass. Chelsea Passage going to pick it up. And she's moving down the floor. Pass over to the right. Maddie Chambers with the ball now. She's going to drive the baseline and pass it out. Taylor Collins knocks it down, but that's going to be picked back up by Harrah, and they're back down on their side of the floor. Katie King with the basketball now. Less than a minute, clock ticking down, and Chelsea Passage is going to commit the foul. That should be a 1-and-1 situation, but you never know with these goofy refs.
That's the 6th.
That's the what?
That's the 17th foul.
Yeah, I figured it was. 17 foul. Katie King going to the line. Shot up. Good. And the Lady Panthers extending their lead. And another shot up. That's also good. Lady Bulldogs with the inbound pass. Passage bringing the ball up the court. 52 seconds left in this ball game. Pass over to the left. Maddie Chambers going to drive, put up a jump shot, no good. Rebound by Harrah. That's going to be tied up. And the ball belongs to Muldrow. Lady Bulldogs down by 8 points. 56-48 is your score. Inbounds to Hannah Boyette. She's going to lose the ball. Chelsea Passage with another foul. 39 seconds left in this ball game. And one thing we got to do before this game ends, it may not end how we want it to, but we have to give a lot of credit to these Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. They didn't even make it to the state tournament last year. They got knocked out by Broken Bow. Luckily, well, not luckily, but it's a good thing that the Lady Bulldogs got to make it to state, and the first team they put out at state was Broken Bow. So that piece of unfinished business was settled, and now with a 9-point lead with 39 seconds left, I'm afraid that this is going to end the season for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. There's another free throw, 10-point lead for Harrah. Here's the inbound pass. Taylor Collins with the basketball now. But you can't help but love these girls. They play ball real hard. They love what they do, and we appreciate them. There's some shots up, missed. And we're going to have another jump ball. That's going to belong to Harrah. With 26 seconds left, that's pretty much going to seal the deal for this season. Tyler Young, we appreciate you. I'm glad that you guys got to log in and you got to listen to this. We really, really appreciate it. And we're glad you could be here with us too. In fact, for everybody listening, or people who have listened, if you know people who have listened, spread the word. We honestly want to say thank you for letting us come into your homes or your vehicles, wherever you may listen to us, or even if you're like some of those folks who sit in church with the earbuds in. You never know. But we do want to say thank you for letting us be
And
part
let me
of
throw
your
something else in
afternoon.
there. The best is yet to come.
Oh, yeah. That's the one thing you got to keep in mind with these Lady Bulldogs. We're only losing one senior starter. losing 2 seniors altogether. Brianna Dawes, Cameron Johnson. This is going to do it for them. The rest of these Lady Bulldogs are coming back. There's another free throw in for Harrah. The lead is extended. 11-point lead now for Harrah. But, yeah, the rest of the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are coming back, and I'm excited to see them. I know I'm coming back, too. I'm not a senior. And so there's another free throw in.
Fifth-year senior.
Yeah. I'm like an 18th-year senior now. And Taylon Collins with the basketball. Over to Maddie Chambers. She's going to give it to Cameron Johnson. Cameron for 3. Shot no good. Rebounded by Harrah. And Taylon Collins trying to come up with a steal, but Harrah's got it. And there's going to be a foul on Maddie Chambers. And so another 1-and-1 situation. Now that's going to be a 2-shot situation. That's going to be 10 fouls on the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Michael and Sean, we appreciate you guys. Anything we can do, we'll definitely do it. Daryl has jumped in. Can't wait for baseball season and softball. We can't wait for it either. That's immediately what we're going to jump into after we're finished with basketball. Taylon Collins with the ball now. Last shot up for the Lady Bulldogs is good. 62-50 is going to be your final score. That's going to do it for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs for this season. We've already got our stats compiled. So for our post-game stats for the last time this season, brought to you by Boyette Farms in Muldrow. Dennis, what do you got?
18 points for Taylon Collins on the night, 12 points for Hannah Boyette. 10 of those came in the fourth quarter. 8 points from Shayla Mays. We also had 6 points from Cameron Johnson, 6 points from Madison Chambers, and that's all the scoring for the Lady Bulldogs. For Harrah, they had 4 players in double figures, and in fact, they only had 4 players score the entire night. With 21 points, Katie King, 15 points for Anke. Brozazowski finished with 12, and Lovings finished with 12, and that's all the scoring. I want to echo what Clint said. We appreciate all you guys out there letting us come into your lives, letting you come into your living room and stuff. You know, we started out this project a little over 4 months ago, just a hair over 4 months ago. And we have taken it to heights that we thought would take us a year to be able to get to. And I want to thank everybody in Sequoyah County, Roland, Muldrow, Sallisaw, everybody that supported us. I want to thank all the parents, the players, and I also want to thank Clint Davis because he has been on the mark all season long, keeping us going technically, doing the play-by-play. We were swapping off the play-by-play duties all season long. We got to the end of the season. He said, hey, I graduated from Roland. Can I have them? Yes, you can. And that's the way we're going to hang. But we're going to take a few days off, catch our breath. We've got some baseball and softball games that we're going to start playing. We need to grab a few more sponsors. We do appreciate everyone out there that has stuck with us throughout the year. And when I said earlier, the best is yet to come, I was talking about the Lady Bulldogs, but I'm going to tell you something. The best is yet to come from today in Fort Smith, Dennis McCassell and Clint Davis. We are going to be here. We're going to be there, and we're going to do what we got to do to take care of these kids and get them the publicity they need. We're not going to show up just when it's handy. We're not going to show up when it's convenient, and we're not going to be part-timers. So we appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to throw it back to Clint, let him have the last word of the season.
Yeah, we do want to run through a couple of things before we get off here. I do want to say another thank you to all of our sponsors, Divine Lines, Auto Finders. The Wizenett family's been great to us. Liz Moffitt with O'Neill Real Estate, Muldrow Pharmacy, Sequoyah County Farm Bureau, the Oklahoma Farm Bureau, Nikki, and Scott Abbott. We definitely want to say thank you to them. Stephen Doe at Primetime Barbershop in Fort Smith, Sparkman Animal Clinic, Gary Schaefer and BHC Insurance in Sallisaw, Aaron McDonald and the entire McDonald family at the chicken store in Roland. Also, Ernie Edwards. We haven't said much about him by name, but we definitely want to thank Ernie Edwards. He's got a great presence in Sequoyah County, especially, the things he's done for Roland. Always supported Roland, and he jumped on board with us to advertise the playoffs. And also Mazzio's Pizza in Roland. Brandon Jones with River Valley Records and Collectibles, a huge thank you there. And that's going to do it for our sponsors. Definitely appreciate the entire Boyette family, and it's been a pleasure doing this. So.
And while we appreciate all of our sponsors and the financial support that they've given us, we do appreciate the moral support that we've had from all these parents. It's just been, for us to just roll up, and we were going to do a game of the week situation.
Yeah.
And we roll up on Muldrow, and the superintendent says, well, hey, won't you guys just try to do all our games? And we started off, I think the first week and a half, we were 2 weeks away from the start of the season, and I think after the first week we had $125 sponsor.
We had one solid sponsor after the first, up to the first week, and then everybody just kind of came on after that. And for those of you who are on with us, we are going to stay. I mean, this is what we do. This is how we roll in Sequoyah County. We're going to do this. Baseball and softball coming up. We're going to be rolling right into that. But we definitely want to say thank you to everybody who has listened, everybody in Roland who has supported us, everybody in Muldrow, and even the people, like we had a message from somebody in Mounds. There's Stacy Beam. Thanks for the broadcast. And Melinda just said John's there. He appreciates you guys too. And so, those are good things to hear. Sean Woodward in here, good work, reaps good benefits. Keep it up. And, Sean's been there for us too. Sean and I talked a little bit about football too, and we're going to get that in the works. Football season's not too far from here.
Absolutely not.
We're in the middle of spring. School's almost out. Then we're going to have summertime, and then we're rolling right back into football.
And then, another thing you and I talked about, and this is we've already had some requests from some other people, other school districts, to do their own thing, but to do it through us.
Yeah.
We feel like that we're gonna be able to roll what we do over into a network of high school sports over the next, probably before football season rolls around next year. Yeah. And I think 2-3 years down the road, I told Clint today, we were messaging back and forth, and I told Clint today, I've got 10, 12 years left, probably good ones left on this earth, and I'm going to do something with these 10, 12 years. I'm not just going to sit around and get any older than I am without having something to do. And I appreciate everything that everyone's done this year. I appreciate Clint so much. I appreciate our sponsors. I appreciate the parents, and we are just excited about being a part of the community. Today in Fort Smith, todayinfortsmith.com. We bring you the news too, Clint.
Yeah, we do. We bring you a lot of news. So right now the news is the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are done for the year. We love them. We appreciate them. Coach Armour, Coach Passage, the entire staff, the entire faculty at Muldrow. A lot of them have reached out to us. So for the very last time this basketball season, we're going to sign off. My name is Clint Davis for Dennis McCaslin. Next to me, we are todayinfortsmith.com, and we will see you on the baseball and softball diamonds.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.